Okay, so today we have Hüsker Celebrated Summer. I've not reacted to Hüsker in about a year, I do believe, so it's about time I came back to them. This one has Bob Mould on lead vocals. The other song I've reacted to, of course, has Grant Hart, so I'm intrigued to hear what the difference is there. But yeah, I want to come back to these boys, and I love what I heard from the first song, and that was one of my favorite songs of last year. So finally, we're back here. Let's get into it, talk about it after 4 minutes, 2 seconds. Here we go. Celebrated Summer. Oh, lit. The shifts.
Then the sun disintegrates between a wall of clouds. A summer where I winter at, no one is allowed there. Is that your celebrated summer?
I think it's over. Hüsker Celebrated Summer. So like I said off the top, I've only done one song of theirs, and it was, I think, last September or something like that. It was last year anyway. So it's been way too long since I last reacted to them. When I reacted to them, of course, Grant Hart was on lead vocals of Don't Want to Know If You Were Lonely, so I've never heard Bob Mould. But that voice, it just cuts through you. It's so rough. It sounds so tough at the same point. Of course, I do know these guys came from a hardcore punk background. And when I reacted to Don't Want to Know If You Were Lonely, and I said, my God, the drumming is fast as hell. Everything's so fast. It's just frantic. My God, people people are like, you think this is fast? It's just, it's like, oh my goodness, holy moly, calm down. But so I think about how, again, this is fast to me, but it would become slow at points. But I imagine, again, coming from the hardcore punk roots, I want to hear them even faster, I guess. And I guess I should do that on my own time or another reaction. But I guess I maybe should have picked another song if I wanted to do that. But I love this song, though, at the same point. I can see why it's ranked as one of the best. But just to say that, again, it's very fast, but I know that I guess I can do faster. But just how we started off with that, that menacing, volatile, you might want to say, visceral, all these words come to mind, guitar riff that just cuts through you as well, like his voice, but it just cuts through you as well, and it just pierces the ears, and I'm like, oh my goodness, should I turn it down for a sec? Holy moly, my ears are ringing, but in a good way. And then you have that kind of dies down for a second, and then we have a little bass part, nice little guttural bass part, and then here comes the guitar work again, and it's like, holy frig. And then we go into it, and it's, again, the drumming is fast as hell, it's rhythmic, it's timely, because I think about the times, or not the times, but I think about how, maybe some bands, some songs, whatever the hell, it can be fast, it can be loud, it can be frantic, and all these things, but at the same point, it might sound like a mess, or like somebody commented on a video recently, it sounds like unintelligible mush. And I don't think this sounds like unintelligible mush. They were talking about a different band when I did that, but at the same point, that comes to mind. And just how it sounds so good at the same point. It sounds accurate, it sounds aggressive, it sounds... How the hell, it sounds, because it's aggressive and it's intense and it's bold, and then they would die down near the middle of the track there, and all of a sudden, I guess, not Greg Norton, he's the bassist, Bob Mould would come on guitar there, and he would grab his acoustic guitar all of a sudden, and all of a sudden, it's intimate, it's personal, it's all personal and honest, but it becomes more intimate, more personal, and more slowed down, of course, and just all that stuff. And I'm like, holy moly, all of a sudden we got a very polite and vulnerable side, and then all of a sudden here we go again, here comes that frantic guitar work from Bob once more, and we get into it, and here comes Grant Hart just fucking beating the drums to shit, and it's just beautiful. And yeah, again, to go from that quiet and I guess first of all they were very frantic and very intense, and then you go to that quiet hush, I can't fucking talk, that quiet hush to again being frantic again, and then by the end of it again we are quiet again. It's just magic, and it reminds me too, and I listen to a lot of 90s bands. I like a lot of 90s songs and such. So I don't know if this was happening before this time, or if Hüsker Dü was influential in this kind of dynamic. But of course, I'm reminded of bands like Nirvana or Smashing Pumpkins, or I guess maybe Stone Temple Pilots. A lot of grunge bands that come to mind, at least, that would use that kind of quiet to loud dynamic, and that's what Hüsker Dü was doing here, and this is from 1985. So just, I guess, at least showing they were ahead of their time there for those bands I just mentioned anyway, and yeah, just being so vulnerable and aggressive at the same point, and so melancholic. It was just the best of both worlds here. I can't get over it, and how Bob Mould sounds so frustrated. He sounds so fed up. You're talking about growing up here. The whole up and down of the song really replicates that kind of up and down feel of life and the up and down feel of being young. And I do believe these guys in 1985, they were still pretty young at that time. So it's not like they're phoning this in at all. You can feel the passion. You can feel the pressure they have on themselves. And I also feel like the pressure because some of these lyrics, at least at the get-go in the first verse, from what I remember now, talking about how summer's coming around. I got to do stuff. I got to go outside. To me, it feels like his parents maybe are saying, at least that's from my experience, of course, it's sunny out, it's beautiful, it's a beautiful day, get outside and do something, don't stay inside the house. So that comes to mind there, and how he just feels kind of frustrated or lost, and doesn't know what the hell to do or how to spend his summer. And he feels like, again, he's frustrated that he's spent his summers this way or whatever the hell, or he's thinking about past summers. He's very nostalgic. There's a sense of loneliness there as well. Holy crap. But yeah, very powerful all the same, and did not expect to have my ears just start ringing or whatever right off the get-go. I was like, holy moly, but I loved it anyway. It took me by surprise, and yeah, so that's what I always enjoy. And again, these guys are from Minnesota. They're a trio too. It's just nuts. That doesn't sound like there's only three of them here, but there is. And I already mentioned, I believe everybody, but just to make sure, again, Grant Hart on drums, everybody knows, but I just want to say it again. Greg Norton on bass, and like I said, probably last time, Greg Norton was a principal I had in middle school, and I did not like him. But as well, we had Bob Mould on vocals and guitar, I do believe. So there you go there. And but I was going to say, they remind me of another band from Minnesota. My God, The Replacements, and just how both bands can create such bleak, kind of vulnerable, of course, songs, but at the same point make them sound so loud and fierce and ferocious, and it's just aggressive vulnerability. And I don't know, I didn't know that was a thing until I heard the replacements in Hüsker do. My goodness gracious. And one more thing that just came to mind because I kind of forgot it, but Bob Mould reminds me. I was like, when he was singing, because again, it's my first time hearing him, I was like, who does he remind me of? Michael Graves of the Misfits. I gotta just say that. And I know, I mean, Michael Graves today, a bit controversial, good God. But I'll Die on the Hill, that Famous Monsters, is a great album. And when I was listening here, I was like, who the frig does he remind me of? And I was like, is it Michael Graves? I think it is. Even when he, kind of slowed down and kind of almost talk sang, I was like, that still reminds me of Michael for some reason. But anyway, he had a great voice on his own. I just had to mention that too, because I was like, what the hell? It reminds me of somebody, and I guess that's the man I'm thinking of. So there we go. But at the same point, like I said, great voice on Bob. Bob, Greg, and Grant. Easy names to remember. We have the first verse here. Let's get into it. My goodness. I've already kind of talked about what the song seems to be about. So here we go. Love and hate was in the air like pollen from a flower. So automatically we get the both sides of the coin here. Love and hate. And I love the, is it a simile? Is either a simile or a metaphor there? Either way, I forget how it goes. When you use like or as, I think it's a simile. Pollen from a flower. Summer and April time, they add another hour. And it's funny because as I'm doing this, we just took an hour away because we're falling back. It's November as I do this. So they're talking about another hour that gets added on, at least at this time in April. I think now it's done in, what is it, March or April? Either way, I don't know if it's changed. I can't freaking remember. I guess as we go on, I guess I better think up a way to spend my time. Again, it feels like he's lost. It feels like he's stuck. He doesn't know what to do with himself. Now I got to think about something to do with my time, just when I'm ready to sit inside. It's summertime. And again, it feels like there's that pressure for him to go outside and enjoy the summer, whether it's through his parents or whoever it is, or just through himself, of being like, well, I got to do something. I got to celebrate my summer by doing something. Should I go swimming? Or get a friend to hang around? It's back to summer. It's back to basics. Hang around again. And now school's out, as we mentioned in the next part. Getting drunk on the beach or playing in a band. And I guess this feels very personal. I don't know I don't know who of the band wrote it, but I don't know if it's autobiographical or what, but it almost seems like it, talking about being in a band, getting drunk on a beach, and getting out of school meant getting out of hand. And again, now that school's out, summer's here, we're back to basics, unless they have a job or something, I guess. But now they don't know what to do with themselves, and again, that can create quite the predicament for these guys. And getting out of school meant getting out of hand, because now we have a chance to, I guess, be a bit rambunctious or be some hooligans, whatever. It seems like maybe even in school they might have got up to trouble, but now that school's over, they got a lot of time to get up to trouble. Then we go on into the chorus, and this is such a deep and profound song, because you ask questions like this. Was this your celebrated summer? Was this your celebrated summer? Was this your celebrated summer? And as summer just ended, basically, for me, now it's completely gone, of course. I think about this, and I think about, in a way, is he just talking about, was this the time, is this how you really wanted to spend your summer? Are you happy you spent your summer doing what you did? It's just, I don't know. And again, there just seems to be so much that's going on in Bob's head, if you want to say, here, the narrator's head, whatever, of just talking about things that he regrets or something, or just talking about, maybe I wished I was living a different way. I don't know, that comes to my mind. Then we have the second verse. Then the sun disintegrates between a wall of clouds. And again, the detail here, it's like a Bob Ross painting. I don't know what the hell, the clouds, the sun disintegrating. It's beautiful. I summer where I winter at. I love the way that's worded. I summer where I winter at. No more, no one is allowed there. It's just, I've never heard that line in my life. I summer where I winter at. I can't believe it. Do you remember when the first snowfall fell? When summer barely had a snowball's chance in hell. And again, as basic as it is, I think about how this band is from Minnesota once more. And I mean, I'm from the Maritimes of Canada. It's not warm here a lot of the time of the summer. Summertime comes and goes pretty quickly. And how in Minnesota, I mean, cold like Minnesota. I mean, Minnesota's coldness has been referenced in many different songs, and an Audio Slave song as well. My goodness gracious. Minnesota's cold, and you just talk about how summer comes and goes, and all of a sudden it feels like the snowfall's coming already. And we had no snowball's chance in hell of having summer. And so it's just like, at the same point, being in Minnesota, I feel like anyway, it's just like summer comes and goes so quickly. What the fuck is there to do in the first place? And even if we do anything, why? I love, there's a lot of just philosophical takes going on here in my mind anyway. But yeah, I don't know. That it just seems as easy as that. I think about them being in Minnesota and how they had no snowball's chance in hell anyway of having a good summer. Then we have the chorus, which is already, I've talked about, but was this your celebrated summer? And then summertime's repeated on. And then that question again at the end of the second verse, it comes out in the intro. Do you remember when the first snowfall fell? Was this your celebrated summer? Again, now that the snow has fallen, are you happy with how you spent your time in the summer? Are you glad of what you did? It's just, for such a aggressive punk, song, it's melancholic at the same point as well, of course, and it's pop, some pop rock, it's kind of alternative, all these things, and it makes you think. And makes you think about, well, goddamn, how did I spend my summer? Could I have done more? I mean, all these things go in my head. So, yeah, very poignant song. I can't believe it. But anyway, it's not that I can't believe they could write a poignant song. It's just I can't believe how poignant it is and how kind of much it does make me think. Going into this, I didn't think I was going to think that much. But anyway, I guess that's all I'm going to say. So thanks for watching. Thanks for repeatedly requesting these guys. I was happy to finally get back to them. And thanks for watching, subscribing, commenting, all of those things. I'm going to go now and go eat because I'm hungry. So thanks for everything. I'll talk to you guys again soon.